Hi, good evening, good afternoon, maybe good morning for somebody who will found us in YouTube. And we are a team of Global Online Dialogue, and today we are going to talk about leader and leadership. And we want to focus in our dialogue on leadership for people or other worlds. We are interesting question how we civic leaders from different countries, from different continents, can provide help to other leaders, directors of NGO or civic society leaders to improve their job. What do you like this topic for today?
It's a good one. Yeah, of course.
Okay, and first let's start from introduction. My name is Svitlana. I'm from Ukraine. Now I'm in Kyiv, it's capital of Ukraine. I'm sitting in my kitchen, and I'm happy to to have dialogue from my kitchen. And thank you, Media IC, for this opportunity. I'm caring of couple NGO. Now I built with my colleagues together Women's Holding, and we are going to support women's leadership plus social entrepreneurship in Ukraine. And I want to ask other lady to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Deborah Fairlamb. I am an American living in Kiev, Ukraine. My professional background is banking and investment and business development. I also, however, have been working in the cultural and social sphere here in Ukraine, helping to develop business very much along the lines of social entrepreneurism, as Svitlana mentioned, sort of recognizing that business can be used to do good, to move capital, not just enrich a few, but make a difference in a society.
Great, thank you, Deborah. Thank you to being with us. And John, maybe we will hear you. I hope. John?
Can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Maybe you can't,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there seems to be a problem here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Don't move and say slow, and we will hear you for sure. John? No, it's not work. Okay, and we have very young man here. I see Alexander.
Hello, my name is Alex. I am from Warsaw. I am a student of journalism, and I'm glad to be here with you and with Global Online Dialogue. It's a very interesting topic which we can talk about for us, for young people, because leadership is our motivator in our life.
Great. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you very much. And we have Adil. Adil?
Hello, Svitlana. My name is Adil Abdel Aati. I'm from Sudan originally. I live in Poland for the time being. I am the CEO of Harambi Foundation, which is working on the field of international cooperation and development cooperation. We are also interested in leadership, in training for young leaders and for women leaders in Africa. And we have been doing this in NGOs levels, also as in political levels, working with some liberal parties in Africa and within the Africa Liberal Network. which is an African organization also interested in building the leadership skills of youth and women. Thank you.
Great, great, thank you. It surprised me when you said that you develop women leadership. It surprised me for sure. It's not shocked, but surprised. And thank you for this activity. And question to everybody and for us: when you heard the word leader, who is leader for you? Maybe you can say name of this person. Who is leader for you?
Maybe I will tell that for me, a leader who is the person who is making a change in the society, in his local society, in a community. I don't look at big leaders from the first page of newspapers or from TV, because they may be leaders, but I'm interested more in local leaders, which work in a very hostile environment, and they do something for their community, for themselves. They improve their lives, the life of their neighborhood. This is real leadership. And when I was talking about leadership in Africa and how we want to improve it, it doesn't mean that there is no leadership. Chiefs, there is a lot of women who are helping each other. There is a lot of young people who are trying to help elders or even younger than them, children. So there is a lot of leaders. We can find a leader in everybody of us. We can find a leader in every community. Informal leadership to be recognized and to be improved with new skills, with scientific skills of leadership, with more knowledge about the world which is surrounding us, and how we can use new technologies, we can use new experiences, we can use new methods of education to improve the leaders, which we can find everywhere. So I believe in that leadership is everywhere. So we have to discover it in ourselves and in people around us, and to make it something normal that everybody can lead, or as it was said, that everybody can. Yeah, we can do it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Adil. Deborah, do you have additional?
I agree that I also do not really have somebody on the world stage who I sort of look to as an exemplary leader right now. But in terms of the qualities of leadership, I think it very much depends on somebody's skill base and knowledge to be able to be good at what they're doing, whether it's in business or civic society. It is their confidence to have a vision for what could be rather than what is. It's also about having the skill set to be able to help communicate the vision and align other people in terms of what is it that could be accomplished, and whether it's something very local on a community level or something bigger or in business. It's about having the ability to have the vision, to articulate it, and to align people to help you work towards it. I think another component of leadership is also recognizing skills and strengths or in business, and the ability to them develop their skills so they can add to their own lives and to whatever the greater cause or greater purpose that people are working towards.
Thank you, Deborah. And we have new participator. Alex, do you want to add something about leader? Who is leader for you?
Microphone. It's to me, yes, question.
And we have two Alexanders.
Yeah, so I ask.
Hi, Alexander. New Alexander, hi. And we ask young Alexander, who is this? Yes.
As for me, who can connect others with each other, who can lead them, and who can sort, who can think in future maybe, who can see strategy of doing something.
And Alexander, one question to you, because I understand your English better than others. And question to you about strategy. You said that it's person who sees strategy. And what is more important for you, to see strategy or to create strategy?
Wow, interesting question, really. As for me, to create.
Thank you.
I think that leader must create strategy for others and connect and provide lead.
Thank you. And guys, when we hear world leadership, and Adil say a couple times about the coordination of leadership, but what is leadership for us?
To whom this question is, or it is open question?
It's open question.
Yeah, leadership is the ability to provide people, as you said, to see opportunities and to organize, to be a good organizer. It is some kind of skill which is very important for a leader, to have vision, also to create strategies, also to negotiate in a good way, to provide teams. So leadership has a lot of skills which are very important, and predispositions also. Of course, some people say that leadership is a natural characterization of some people, that some people are they are born leaders and others not. I don't believe in this. I believe that leadership is something, it is some skills which we can gain. Of course, sometimes we gain it very early in the school or in our families, that we have better conditions to express ourselves and to provide, so we can get some leadership skills from there. But also through training, through having opportunities, and for that I am insisting everywhere when I work in politics or in business or in non-governmental organization, to give a chance for young people, to give a chance for these who are not experienced, to give them tasks so they can try. And we should not be afraid that this young leader or this unexperienced person can make some mistakes, because without mistakes you will not be a leader. You will not be a leader if you will not try. You will not be a leader if you will not improve yourself through different mistakes and different proofs. So in leadership is very important, I believe, that to have self-confidence and to have a good opportunity, you know, to have a friendly environment which help us to improve our leadership skills, because we don't born leaders, you know, we gain it. It is something which it is skills which we gain through our lives, through our education, through our experience in different levels. So I believe leadership is something which everybody can be a leader. I would like to have a society in which everybody is a leader in his field. So this will be a more productive society. I don't believe in that there should be a leader and followers, because this is it is not even democratic. Because if we are talking about new conceptions like deep democracy, We are talking about collective leadership. We are talking about communal leadership, leadership which comes from the community, from the experience of. Sometimes we have very experienced old people, like they don't have formal education, but they have a lot of experience. In Africa, we have them in the village, you know, like grandmothers, grandfathers, which have a lot of experience in their life, and they are also leaders, although they don't have formal education, or they don't have they don't know to use new technologies, but they have the leadership skills by improving them in a long time, and with having a lot of experience, and they are giving them, and we treat them there as leaders. Of course, in African societies, we have special respect for elders, but it is not just for the age, it's also for the knowledge which they had, which they accumulated, sometimes very difficult conditions, like people who are living in isolated communities, in isolated village, without formal education, without electricity sometimes, in a tough life, but they could deal with their environment and improve their leadership skills. So leadership, it is the ability to lead, to go forward, to see new things, and to have the courage to do that. I think so.
Thank you, Adil. And Deborah, we have John Cornwell answer in our chat, and could I ask you to read it, because your English more better than mine.
Sure. So there's two different paragraphs. So the first one says, for me, leadership is in all of us. Probably the word is confusing because it implies that someone who is a leader is ahead of others. But I think the deeper meaning is that we are all capable of doing great things and playing roles where we take a lead in different ways. The main challenge we have in the world today is that we have some people who believe they are superior to others and therefore should lead others. This could be based on race, gender, class, ethnicity, etc. Those are actually both very good points.
Yeah, thank you. And I can read the really first part. Hi everyone. Sorry, but my microphone doesn't seem to work with Google Hangouts these days, but it doesn't at all other times. I'm John. It's strange. John, you look a little bit different today. I'm John, based in Nairobi in Kenya, and working with VSO, a development organization, and also part of IAF, International Association of Facilitators. Thank you, John. And Alex, we have Alex Rybalka, I see. Alex, could you?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
thank you to be with us.
Hello, hello. I'm from Ukraine, from the Cherkasy. I think it's a very interesting term, the leadership. And about me, I'm the doctor of philosophy, and I'm the trainer of the patrol police in Ukraine. And for the time of the leadership, I think many people don't want to be a leader. Many people want to go to the one man and listen him what he said for these people. It's my first video conference, but sorry, I'm just a little nervous, and I very hope for this moment.
Sasha, thank you to be with us, and you do a great job, and you English very well, and thank you very much. And
oh, thank you.
I have a question to your answer. Yes. A little bit. And what about follow-up to women who is leader?
Or man or women? Yes. It's a gender question. Yes, man or women is not a problem.
No, Sasha, I'm kidding. I am not serious.
Actually, Sasha, you make a very good point, and you speak English very well, so you can be confident in your contributions. You make a very good point that there are people who don't want to be leaders, that they feel more comfortable following what somebody else says, and that implies that there is responsibility within leadership for making good choices for others who maybe aren't as comfortable or as confident in directions they should go. And I think that's particularly true here in Ukraine. It's actually a very important point that you know, many of us on this call may be in different roles of speaking up or in leadership roles, but there are many people who find this to be a very frightening place to be in terms of having responsibility.
And thank you. We start to talk about difficulties, and was my question was totally about what kind of difficulties as a leaders we have in our work in our communities. And thank you, Sasha. You start to talk about it.
Thank you.
And as for me, now I have a deal with a lot of women, and very often I heard that I'm not leader. I'm woman, I'm wife, but I'm not leader. And usually my point is, and to this lady, do you care your family? And your husband follow your recommendation? She said, yes, and you're a leader.
You're a leader at home.
I think it's more home, it's more wider than home. And because usually wife responsibility more than home, I think. And I think it's question of consciousness. And what kind of difficulties do you have in your work, in your job, in your activity, in your projects?
It's for me?
It's open question to everybody.
Can I? For the leadership, I think that many people afraid to be the leader. In our country, many times in the Soviet Republic, it was not good if you want to be first. In this time, many people is equal. And now in Ukraine, many young people who want to be a leader, and I saw this. And when I trained the patrol police, I saw many young people, or young, 20 or 35 years old. He wanna change the Ukraine. He wanna be a leader. I saw fire in his eyes, and he wanna do something. It's a very important thing to be a leader. And someone, I think the one man woman can be a leader, and 10 or 100 people must follow for him or her.
Thank you. And Deborah, we have a message from John from Nairobi, Kenya.
Yeah, actually, it follows a little bit what Sasha was just saying. So the continuation of what John said was, I like the point about community leaders. I think these people are the unsung heroes and heroines. Being a community worker is a great privilege because you get to meet many of these people who are doing great things in their own way. I think that, that is, I think, true of experiences all over the world. And I've experienced that many, many times in different parts of Africa and Europe also. So, and just to paraphrase or connect them, is that you can find people on the local level. So whether it's with police, as Sasha was talking about, or community workers, you can find that fire or desire to make a difference. And sometimes it doesn't go any further than your community or the town that you're in. But for people who step up to that responsibility, it makes a difference for those around them.
Who wants to add something?
Okay, I would like.
You're welcome.
Okay, in my work in the field of leadership, I had a lot of problems. One of the problems that in Africa, and I'm talking all the time about African experience, because in Ukraine the situation is different. It is a post-Soviet country. In Western Europe it is different. There are countries with a long tradition of democracy, of participation. I believe that part is very important because we are living in times of liberal democracy where people they go to vote, where people they take care of their problems, sometimes in the local level, sometimes in the national level. So I'm pretty convinced that leadership is more popular or is more massive in the 21st century than in the 20th century or than in the 19th century, where people were less educated, less engaged in their in political life, in social life, in cultural life, because our societies are becoming more and more democratic, more and more open, and we have more participation. This will make the ground for the flourishing of leadership between people, especially people who have not the chance, who have not got the chance for centuries to have leadership. I'm talking about disabled people, I'm talking about less educated people, women also as well, because we know that women, they got their political lives, political rights or social rights. In some countries, they got it in the 20th century, and in some countries, they are still fighting for these rights. But let us return back to the problems of leadership, which I met in my work as a political and as a non-governmental activist. I will not talk about myself as a leader, but I'm talking all the time about activists, because I don't want to make the gap between people who are thinking about themselves as leaders and others are people who should follow. So we have a problem of permanent leadership in Africa. That somebody who got the experience, got the chance, got the opportunity to be a leader, he will not never get down. He wants to be a leader for lifetime, forever. We see a lot of like President Mugabe in Zimbabwe. He's 96 or something, and he wants to be president. More, I don't understand this. We have in Sudan some of the leaders of political parties. We have a leader of a political party, which is a leader for this party for 52 years. 52 years. He have been elected, let us say, in 1964, and he is still the president of this party. So he's destroying the party. He's destroying the ideas of democracy, because democracy it is about the change of power. It is about rotation. It is about new ideas, new leaders. So when you are sticking to your position for a long time, so I call these people permanent leaders. Of course, they are not leaders because they are, after sometimes they are backwarded. They can't follow. They can't follow the new trends. They can't follow the new technologies. They can't follow the new ideas. Even they can't communicate with younger people. In Africa, we have very young societies. Most of the African societies, more than 60% are less than 30 years old. So how can you, having 80 or 90 years, to be a leader for the majority of the society who are very young? So this is the problem of course, also we have a problem of people who they don't have enough confidence to be leaders. They say, no, I don't want to be a leader. I want to do this what you talk about. And I think this also, these people should be encouraged, not only with training, not only by improving their skills, but before all to show them new definition of leadership, that leadership is not to be in general or to be a president, or leadership is to be engaged really in your community life, in your everyday life. So a woman in her house or in her home or in her family, she's a real leader. So this is very important. I talked last time about a woman who was a tea seller and food seller in the streets, and she had a lot of problems, obstacles with police, with people who are caring about what they call the face of the town, that they don't want it to be destroyed by people who are selling, and she became a leader because she was fighting for her children. that this was her only job to sell tea in the street. So she began to fight back that I have a right to be in the street and to sell tea, and she began to organize other women to fight, and they organized a union of food and tea sellers, and after that she organized a union, women cooperative multifunction union, and she got the award of in this year award of the most courage woman in the world, and which was given by the Department of State. So she was forced to be a leader, and she became a leader. Still, she's a simple woman. She's sitting, she's selling her tea, and she's very humble. But she's a leader. For me, she's a leader, because when we talk about leaders, big leaders that you know, presidents, generals, big businessmen who you know, created Microsoft or Apple or other corporations. So these sometimes make people feel small, that we don't have these skills. No, you have the skills. You can be whatever you want. Begin from small things and do them, and after that you will go to middle, and after that you go to great things. And also we can see that in some countries or in some cultures, the problem of leadership is the problem of the elite, that if you belong to this class, or if you belong to, or if you educated in this school or in this college, you will be a leader. If you joined another school, no, you are not a leader. We have to change this idea of leadership, this idea of egalitarian leadership. Leadership should be egalitarian. Everybody can be a leader. Everybody can make the change, and we begin the change from ourselves, and after that we make the change in our small community. There is a Taoism says that you begin from yourself. After that you begin from your home, from your neighborhood, from your village, and you will see that this good deed, this good participation will spread to the whole world. Thank you.
You actually just made a point also, just echoing what John had talked about, that sometimes there is this propensity to assume that certain people should be leaders, whether it's race or gender or ethnicity or class or whatever. That's an interesting point. Is there a way to sort of combat that, or address that, or remove that from the dialogue, that you are not sort of born into this God-given leadership role, but that you have to earn it or something like that, do you think?
I think leadership, not only leadership, but different talents of people, they are not natural. We don't born with them. We get them from the society. We get them from the opportunities, and we can see this in different affirmation strategies, which is done in America. I know that there is a lot of affirmation policies, but we are doing it also in our organization and in our activities, that we give people people handicapped. We give a lot of young people, women, we give them responsibilities. So and we encourage them. Sometimes we support them, and if they do the work not 100% perfect, but they do it like 50%, like 60%, we say, yeah, you did a great job, and you can improve this by this and this. We give them the training, we give them the skills, we give them the knowledge that they can learn more, but we give them before all the opportunity. If you give somebody the opportunity and you said that I'm not perfect also, I did a lot of mistakes, you know, before you, and I learned, you know, with mistakes, so you can try it again by yourself and you will gain. So we have to give the people, as I said, we have to give them the confidence that they can do it, and we have to give them the opportunity. We have to give them part of this power, part of these duties, part of these responsibilities, part of this authority which we have. We have to give these people, so they will improve their skills, their leadership skills.
Thank you, Adil. And I think that you according on one very important things for me. You said about gap and gap between leader and people. And somebody knows the best way how to reduce this gap.
Actually, John just wrote something really interesting. So he wrote a quote from, no, this is really cool the way you guys are going back and forth. A quote from Martin Luther King. Everyone can be great because anyone can serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. That's what leadership is. Could not say it better than that. And that's actually a good point, is that maybe one of the key elements of leadership is actually a position of serving rather than doing anything else. The first and foremost quality of a leadership is to serve others, say, before yourself. And so maybe it's reframing that conversation around an aspect of leadership.
Thank you. And what about gap?
Well, in terms of a gap, that if you look if you look at it as the first and foremost thing you are there to do is to serve, you know, it doesn't seem such a scary thing, because then you can look at it of how can I help, how can I change, how can I add to this situation. So maybe it's by changing the, I don't want to say the definition of leadership, but either expanding it or whatnot, to make it feel more accessible to everybody and not feel like it would belong to a certain group of people who are qualified for it, that we could all be leaders in our own way.
And what I feel right now, I want to ask you to clarify your definition and your understanding what does it mean serve? Serve to people. What does it mean?
To serve, it means that you take the responsibility to make decisions that are for the greater good. It's not just for your own particular power or a certain subset of people, but based on a larger, on what is good for the largest population that you are working with. That you put others before your own needs, and again, that's something that could fit both in family life as well as in a public service life or a business life.
Thank you, Deborah. And Adil, what does it mean serve for you?
Yeah, I believe, leadership is a service, is a public service. I don't believe that if you want to do something, something for yourself, for your selfish, gains, you can do business, you can do, you can get money, but you are not a leader. You are a rich man, maybe, or you are a rich woman, but you are not a leader. A leader is some person who is going to people and leading people, not only himself. So this is about the gap which you ask about. I think a real leader is doing also the small things, because I remember a leader of our political party in Sudan, Liberal Party. She was a lady, Mrs. Nourtaur. I respect her so much. So she was as the president of the party, and when she came to the headquarters of the party, she was seeing something not clean or something like that. She did not ask anybody of the members or of the staff to clean it, but she took, some of the things and she began to clean. And this was a very good example that you as a leader, you have to be, you have to do even the small things, and you have to show that everything is important, every work is important. You have to encourage people. Somebody who is coming and only cleaning, you have to show him that this work is very, very important. So I, as a leader, I can do it and I have satisfaction doing it. You have also to give some of this, what they said, great task to other people. Sometimes you have to delegate your power or to delegate your authority. You are invited to give a lecture But you can ask somebody. You can ask your vice or somebody in your staff or somebody who is a young in your organization. So go and make this presentation. You can do it. You are well qualified for that. So we encourage people. We share with them the small things which they do, and we share with them also the big task or the more responsible task. So because when you give somebody a responsible work, he will feel responsibility. He will feel responsibility, and he will do. And also we have to say good words for people who are doing good work. You know, some of the leaders, they all the time they are complaining or they are criticizing, you know, others because they are not doing the things. No, you have to encourage people if they are doing some of the work in a good way, but they lack experience or something. You have to encourage them. You did it good. It's very great work, yeah. But you can do it even better by changing this and this. There was some experience, you know, about, you know, encouraging people, even children. You know, when you encourage a child, you know, that he can do this better, he's helping like with other children, or he's helping his mom, he will feel bright, he will feel that he can do something more, you know. But when you are criticizing people all the time, or when you are looking at the empty part of the glass, you know, you will not create leaders. You will create the gap between you as let us say a leader, and between other people who could be leaders, but you are suppressing them and not helping them. Thank you.
And somebody wants to add, or I have a question. And question about, for me, it's one of the leadership role to create additional values to society. And what do you think, what kind of additional values we can create in our societies?
For the leadership?
As a leader, as a leadership.
Oh, for the leader, for the man of the leader?
Yes.
Be honest.
Honest for Ukraine is additional value. Yes, thank you. It's work. It's work. Yes. It's true. It's great. I think that new leadership in Ukraine needs this skill very much. Yes.
I think, Svitlana, there is universal values which we should promote if we are leaders or pretending to be leaders. We should promote the ideas of human rights. We should promote the ideas of equality between people, between men and women, adults and children, disabled, and, you know, people who have you know, rich and poor. You know, we have gaps between people. We have also to promote the ideas of civilian courage, you know, because leadership, it is something about courage, that you are not afraid to face challenges and to give new ideas, to give new you know, strategies, as Alexander said, or, you know, to change. I think leadership, of course, it is connected with to be honest with you and with other people. And to be honest, sometimes it is to admit your mistakes, you know, that I did this in a wrong way. I could do it better, or I made a mistake. I didn't have the experience, or I didn't have the knowledge, you know, and I made the mistakes. Because a lot of leaders, they don't want to admit when they make something wrong. They are trying, you know, to avoid, you know. So it is also courage to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I did it wrong. Sometimes to resign when you do something wrong. So there should be some responsibility. So even if you are a good leader and you did it not by, intentionally, and you did something wrong, you have to resign and to give other people the chance to show them that there is nobody perfect, nobody is superstar and other, you know. So I think it is leadership. It is about human values which have been created. We could find them in philosophy and religions, in the International Declaration of Human Rights. You know, these are human values. For human dignity, of equality, of tolerance. Of course, we have to promote tolerance between people. So this is leadership. I believe a good leader, he's a leader who is not a leader. In fact, who is not behaving like a leader, who is behaving like just a humble human being, and who is creating leaders in others. Because we have a lot of experiences of good work which have been collapsed because it was connected with one person or with a small group. And after this group died or disappeared or disintegrated, the work collapsed because they did not create new leaders. So I think a real leader, he is a leader who knows that he's limited with his time, with his skills, and he has to create new leaders to carry the job better than him or than her, and in this way we improve the skills of leadership, and we improve our society.
Thank you. Deborah, Alexander, do you want to add something? John?
The leader, and then the leader is a man who's not the leader, he's like any people, yes? But he can say any people, we do this, and we do this together, yes?
Yeah.
If I understand, yes?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. And the last question for today, dialogue for us. And what kind of actions, or what is the best action civic society leaders can do for people to improve quality of their life?
I'd say the first thing is to make sure that you enter a situation with an open heart and an open mind and open ears rather than a preconceived notion. To go in and to listen to what people have to say rather than thinking that you bring answers from the outside. So I'd say the ability to listen and learn is one of the first ones. The second one is flexibility in terms of response and being able to adapt to whatever the local community or the local situation is. I'd also say patience, because change takes time and leadership takes time, and we live in a world of fast results and everything has to happen right away, and I think patience is an underrated virtue and value by far. And also, this may sound funny, but just, you know, an attitude of love, and that what you're doing, no matter what it is that it's for a greater
office somewhere
than yourself.
No, I haven't. I'm in the office.
Thank you. John, try to say something.
Now we can hear him.
He have a problem with the connect.
John, we want to hear you for sure.
What's ready when we came? What needs to happen is Anne needs to sign it, so we can still do that. But I mean, if she hasn't,
and
hasn't been chasing me. I'll get her to sign it.
John, is really bad connection between us, but I understand. And you demonstrate right now that Deborah says that leader, very good skill for leader to listen more than say something. But at the same time, it's very difficult to listen. To listen 60 minutes without any words. Yes, it's really difficult because emotionally, I understand John want to say something. And if I've been, I don't know, Microsoft leader, and first I think about how to connect, to improve connection between Africa and Europe.
You'll do that, and then I'll organise the contract. Is that okay? Yeah.
And John is talking by phone, maybe. We hear his phone conversation, but we don't hear his opinion. Unfortunately. And and thank you everybody for today's dialogue. And I want to ask to give everybody 30 seconds for reflection of today's dialogue. What was useful for you? What was important, or maybe not? And who wants to start? Yes, Sasha. You're welcome.
It was firstly for me. It was great, and I think in the future I will be together with you in this program.
Great, thank you, Sasha.
Thank you for you.
And you are welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Okay. I would like also to thank you, because this was a good school, you know, that we can talk about what we think about leadership, what leadership should be. And I think leadership, it is about respect also. We have to respect people. We have to respect people ideas, people experience, people skills, even if they are, because of different circumstances, they are not small or not, but we have to respect it. Leadership, it is about respect. Of course, we should share our experiences, not only in formal way, in a form of training or education, but in informal way, in informal relations with people, try to give them the experience, even in a funny way, even in a dramatic way. Sometimes we have to tell them about what we had, what problems, you know, all these things. I think it is good in leadership. And what Deborah said, you have to be open to new ideas, open to the ideas of the people. This is what they call it, public participation. You know, it is about that you don't know everything, and you know very little, and the collective knowledge of people is bigger than the individual knowledge or skills of one person or individual. So leadership, it is not to be a leader.
Just for me in closing, I think it's really important to have discussions like this, because if you look at, say, what's happening in the United States with the run-up to the elections and potentially who is going to be a leader there, none of the qualities that we have discussed are on display with potential leaders in the United States. And in some ways, the more that you talk about leadership in this kind of a context, it really kind of opens your eyes to the difference between what it is on a big scale versus on a small scale. So I think that these discussions are extremely important, because they make you challenge these things that you otherwise see on TV and just accept as a leadership quality, but in fact are so far from what we all discussed today that they're not even, you know, they're literally worlds apart. So I would just say thank you all for making me think and challenging my own status quo.
And thank you, Deborah. John, we have some message from John. Deborah, could you read it? Or maybe I am John today. I can read also. Thanks, everyone. It's been a very interesting discussion, and I've enjoyed listening to the different views and ideas. It's not bad to be silenced sometimes. Thanks, everyone. It's been a very interesting discussion, and I've enjoyed listening to the different views and ideas. It's at the same time. It's not bad. It's twice. That was my reflection. Haha. Haha, he says. Yes. Haha, from me and John today. And for me, a leader and leadership, it's a little bit different. A leader is person. Leadership, it's more than you are. its opportunity or its skill to be more than you are today. And thank you very much for being here, and see you next week, and see Facebook page, find
See
our
you.
announcement, and see you. Okay,
Yeah.
have a great evening for
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
everybody.
See you.
Goodbye.
Bye.